So you're getting close to retirement, and work gives you two options. You can keep working for a number of years longer, or retire now, get maybe a pension buyout, severance package. Which one should you decide? We'll have John answer that question coming up next. Well, hello and welcome in to the show. Glad to have you once again. I'm Ben George with John Stillman, a chartered retirement planning counselor at Rosewood Wealth Management. John, what's going on today?
Not much, man. Good to see you. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always a pleasure to chat with you once again. We like to feature some questions here, some pretty good scenarios that people come across, and have you talk through them. I know over the last, handful of years especially, I think COVID kind of pushed this forward a little bit, but more and more people are being forced into an early retirement, or at least considering their options and maybe deciding to leave work a little bit earlier, right? So this scenario today is one that I think more and more people are facing.
Yeah, so we see a lot of people who get these early retirement buyout offers, and it can be kind of a quick decision they have to make. Like maybe within 30 or 60 days, they're going to have to make a decision on what they want to do, and that can be an overwhelming thing for a lot of people. Now, sometimes they know it's coming. Like there's been talk around the company that maybe there's going to be retirement buyouts offered, so it's kind of been in the back of their mind. But sometimes it comes as a complete surprise, and they have to decide pretty quickly what they want to do.
All right, well, here's the question we have today that I want you to try to answer for. So this person is 60, been given two options at work. They keep working and retire in 5 or 6 years with their pension, or they can retire now, again, keep in mind, age 60, and take a severance package and a pension buyout. How do they weigh those two options?
Okay, so the first question we have to answer is, are you ready to retire in the first place? Like, do you want to be retired at age 60? A lot of people don't. So if it's just a matter of leaving this job, then we have to say, all right, well, how employable are you at age 60 in your current field? You know, it could be that you're kind of at the top of your field. You're going to be overqualified for almost any other job that you find. So if you want to do something in that industry, you're probably going to have to take a pay cut. Or if you're going to move to a different industry, well, you might have to take a pay cut too because you don't have the experience there. And so that's not always the case, but more often than not, that's one of the things we have to figure out. So I can tell you the way that most people lean on this is, well, you know, they're saying I could keep working, or I could accept this buyout offer and go away. But, you know, there's nothing really stopping the company from coming back in a year or two and saying, well, you know, we're closing down this department and you're laid off anyway. And now they've lost the opportunity to take this buyout offer. Now, maybe you would hope that if you've been with a company a long time and they do that at some point down the road, that you would get some kind of nice severance at the time. But there's no guarantee of that. So a lot of people feel like, all right, well, while this is on the table, I've got to take the offer and go take my chances somewhere else.
Yeah, it seems like that would be the case there. I mean, is it one of those where bird in the hand is better than two in the bush kind of a thing?
Yeah, and a lot of people can end up in a better situation. I mean, like in this particular scenario that you mentioned here with this question today, he's saying, I get a pension buyout, which for a lot of people is good news because now it's flexibility, right? You, instead of just having X amount of dollars coming in every month, now you have a lump sum of money that you can invest however you want, and you could take more or less income off of that in a given month based on what you need. Now, some people are so bad with money that they shouldn't take that option. They should just keep the pension and have a guaranteed paycheck coming in every month because if they had too much money at their disposal, they would blow it on stupid things. So you kind of have to know yourself. But for most people, it's going to be better to have the flexibility and control over that money. And then, yes, like you said, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. It could be a much better situation if you can indeed leave this company and then go find another job while also having gotten a severance from this buyout. Like a lot of these early retirement buyout offers, you're getting at least 6, maybe 12 months severance as the buyout. So like if you're 60, probably kind of in your prime earning years, and you can get a 12 months severance along with a pension buyout to give you income and investment flexibility down the road, and you can go find another job where you could work for another few years. Well, now you're double dipping, right? Because you've got the new job and the paycheck from that, along with the severance from the job you just left. So like, you don't have to go find a job where you were making as much as you were before. Maybe we just need you to make enough that we don't have to pull anything out of your retirement accounts for a few years. Maybe we don't need you to add any more to retirement. We just need you to go for a few years without pulling anything out. That's a realistic scenario that a lot of people find themselves in. So there are a lot of ways this can be structured. If you've gotten wind at all that this is being talked about at your company, it would be worth a conversation, just so we know, kind of what your options are if you do get this early retirement offer, and it's a 30 or 60 day window, maybe 90 days at the most that you'd have to make this decision. We want you to already be prepared and sort of have a framework for how to think about this, as opposed to just, oh man, well, I found out I got to decide in 30 days. I got to go talk to somebody. And, I'm going to have a pretty compressed time period to make a decision in. Let's go ahead and be as proactive as possible. So if you've heard at all that this might be a possibility, would be a really good idea to go ahead and have a conversation, just so you know what your options are.
You've laid out some pretty good reasons why somebody would take that severance package and pitch a buyout, but really the only reason why you wouldn't is because you aren't good with money, or you just aren't ready to retire? Is those the two main reasons why you would continue working?
Yeah, I would say the main reason that somebody would not take it is because, one, they love the job and they love the company, and they're really worried about how employable they would be if they left. So a lot of people say, I know age discrimination is real, even though you're not supposed to do it. Like, I know nobody's going to hire me at 61 or, whatever age. So they're willing to take their chances, roll the dice, stay with the company, and see how long they can make it last. That's usually the main reason somebody would stick around.
All right, sounds like a retirement-ready phone call would be probably the right path, the next step for someone in this position, or someone, as you mentioned, who's gotten wind that this could be the case, or an option that's presented to them at their work in the near future, at least, maybe this year, upcoming year. Again, you can do that by going to meetwithjohn.com. You can find a time to get on a schedule and take advantage of that retirement-ready phone call. And these are the kind of things that you would discuss, John, in an initial conversation like that.
Could be. You just have some basic questions, maybe some specific tax questions you want to get answered, or, what do you think of these investments? Am I kind of on the right track for my age and my stage of life? Whatever it is, if you just have a couple of questions you want to get checked off, or maybe it's our first date and we need to have multiple conversations. You just want to get the ball rolling with this. That's fine too.
Again, meetwithjohn.com. John is a chartered retirement planning counselor at Rosewood Wealth Management, and as always, provides a lot of insight here on the show. John, thank you for that. And please subscribe. We appreciate you watching and appreciate the feedback and the questions. Please keep them coming. Leave a comment. We'll do our best to answer those as well. And we'll talk to you again on the next video.
Carolina Wealth Stewards doing business as Rosewood Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor in the state of North Carolina. The material presented is intended to be general information and should not be construed by any consumer as the rendering of personalized investment advice.